In the time of the judges, before Israel had a king, the land was often embroiled in chaos and conflict. Among Israel's fiercest enemies were the Philistines, a seafaring people who had settled along the Mediterranean coast in fortified cities like Gaza, Ashkelon, and Ekron. The Philistines were well organized, technologically advanced, and unrelenting in their quest to dominate the region. Their conflicts with Israel formed some of the most dramatic episodes in biblical history. This is the story of one such chaotic period when the Philistines and Israelites clashed in battles that tested the faith, courage, and resilience of God's chosen people. The Philistines were a formidable foe, skilled in metallurgy and armed with iron weapons that gave them an edge over Israel's Bronze Age tools. Their warriors were well trained, their cities heavily fortified, and their gods, like Dagon, symbolized their belief in their own superiority. Israel, on the other hand, was a confederation of tribes struggling to unite. They often fell into cycles of sin, idolatry, and disobedience to God. As punishment, God allowed their enemies, including the Philistines, to oppress them. Despite their hardships, God raised leaders, or judges, to deliver Israel in times of distress. One of the most famous episodes of chaos between Israel and the Philistines revolves around Samson, a judge chosen by God before his birth. Samson was set apart as a Nazirite, forbidden to drink wine, cut his hair, or touch anything unclean. In return, God granted him extraordinary strength to deliver Israel from the Philistines. Samson's story is one of triumph and tragedy. From a young age, he displayed his God-given strength, killing a lion with his bare hands and single-handedly defeating Philistine soldiers. Yet, Samson was also impulsive and prone to personal weaknesses, particularly his attraction to Philistine women. His tumultuous relationship with Delilah, a Philistine woman, led to his downfall. The Philistines bribed Delilah to discover the secret of Samson's strength, his uncut hair. Once his hair was cut, Samson's strength left him, and the Philistines captured him, gouged out his eyes, and paraded him as a trophy. Yet, even in his lowest moment, Samson called upon God for one final act of strength. In a dramatic climax, he pushed down the pillars of a Philistine temple, killing himself and thousands of Philistines. Though Samson's actions brought temporary relief, the conflict between Israel and the Philistines was far from over. Armed with only a sling and 5 smooth stones, David confronted Goliath. As the giant advanced, David slung a stone that struck Goliath in the forehead, killing him instantly. The Philistine army panicked and fled as Israel pursued them in victory. Another famous episode of chaos unfolded during the time of Eli, a high priest, and his sons, who led Israel into sin and disobedience. The Philistines capitalized on Israel's spiritual decline, waging war against them. In a critical battle at Aphek, Israel suffered a devastating defeat. In desperation, they brought the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest representing God's presence, into battle, believing it would guarantee victory. Instead, the Philistines routed Israel, killed Eli's sons, and captured the Arkansas. The Philistines triumphantly placed the ark in the temple of their god Dagon, but chaos soon followed. The statue of Dagon fell before the ark, breaking into pieces. Wherever the ark was taken, plagues of tumors and death followed, forcing the Philistines to return it to Israel. This event demonstrated God's power and sovereignty, reminding both Israel and the Philistines that victory did not come through human effort or superstition, but through faith and obedience to God. The most iconic clash between Israel and the Philistines occurred during the reign of King Saul. The Philistines had gathered their forces at the Valley of Elah, challenging Israel to single combat. Their champion, Goliath, was a giant of a man, standing over 9 feet tall and clad in heavy armor. His taunts demoralized Israel's army, and no one dared to face him. Enter David, a young shepherd boy sent by his father to deliver food to his brothers on the battlefield. Despite his youth and inexperience, David was filled with faith in God. When he heard Goliath's blasphemous taunts, he volunteered to fight, declaring, "The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." 1 Samuel 17 verse 37. David's triumph over Goliath was not just a military victory but a spiritual one, showing that faith in God could overcome even the greatest of odds. Though Goliath's defeat dealt a significant blow to the Philistines, their threat persisted during the reign of King Saul. Saul led numerous campaigns against them but struggled to secure lasting peace. His growing jealousy of David, whom God had anointed as the future king, further distracted him from uniting Israel against their enemies. David, meanwhile, became a skilled warrior and leader. Despite being pursued by Saul, he led successful raids against the Philistines, gaining the loyalty of the people. After Saul's death, David became king and decisively defeated the Philistines, securing Israel's borders and ushering in a period of relative peace. The conflicts between Israel and the Philistines reveal several enduring lessons. 1. Faith overcomes fear. David's victory over Goliath reminds us that trust in God can overcome even the most insurmountable challenges. 2. Obedience brings blessing. Israel's defeats often came when they turned away from God, while their victories followed repentance and reliance on Him. 3. God's sovereignty. The Ark of the Covenant's journey among the Philistines demonstrated that God's power is not confined by human understanding or control. 4. Leadership matters. The chaotic period of the Judges highlighted the need for strong, godly leadership to unite and guide the people. The chaos between Israel and the Philistines is a story of struggle, redemption, and faith. It underscores the importance of relying on God in the face of adversity and trusting in His plan for deliverance. As we reflect on these ancient conflicts, we are reminded that the same God who guided Israel through their trials is present in our lives today, offering strength and victory to those who trust in Him.